Hi everyone, my name is Addison, and a few weeks ago I was extremely fortunate in that I got to tour an extraordinarily intact Cold War era bomb shelter right here in the land of Breaking Bad, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now this shelter was built under a private home. The private home was built by a doctor who worked in a hospital here in Albuquerque in 1951. Now, throughout the 50s and into the early 60s, the hospital this man worked for was contracted by the U.S. government to help perform survivability ratings on shelter designs for atomic blasts. He worked at test sites in Nevada. It's pretty interesting. Anyway, in 1961, he added a small room onto the home, and underneath this, he built a bomb shelter. Technically, it's a blast shelter. It's designed to withstand an atomic blast within 1 mile of the epicenter. Now, the shelter itself was known when the house was sold. However, it wasn't mentioned to the current owner until after she closed on the home. And in the 17 years or so since she purchased the house, it's only been visited a couple of times, the shelter. Now, I had a couple of posts that I put up on Facebook after I got to tour the shelter. Tons of photographs in there. I'll go ahead and put the links to the Facebook posts in the description for the video. But I had a lot of folks that were requesting a video tour of the shelter itself. It seemed like the right time to do it because we're actually renovating a room that was added onto the home in 1980. In fact, an entire casita. But it's interesting because the shelter had a secondary exit that we could not find the access to. We knew where it was from below, but we figured it had been concreted over when the casita was added onto the home. But we found it. If you follow me, this is what the exterior hatch of a well-designed atomic blast shelter looked like if you were living in 1961. Now, the casita, when it was added on in 1980, of course expanded the footprint of the home. This was originally, in 1961, this sat outside the footprint of the home, and it was used as an emergency access port if for some reason the interior access to the bomb shelter was blocked. Now, this lid weighs around 150 pounds, and I'm not going to lift it up right now. Besides, we already know where it goes. It leads to the bomb shelter itself. Now, the shelter, as you can imagine, is underneath our feet right now, but it actually sits back a little closer inside the footprint of the home. The dimensions of the shelter are small, 10 by 10. It was actually designed to hold 4 people, but this was based on a successful design that the doctor was able to witness firsthand in the Nevada testing. Now, I've just crossed over the threshold that was the footprint of the original home. So, now this is what the homeowners would have been seeing in 1961. Did the occasion rise where they'd have to access this bomb shelter? It's very handy to have, but it's not super easy to get to. It's in a back closet of the home, on the floor, underneath 90-pound reinforced door. Okay? So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and pull this door up. You can see the construction on this. About 4.5 inches thick, solid wood, backed by steel. And then we get to the fun part. This is the access tunnel. It goes straight down, access via these rung ladders here. Now, one quick fun point, if you can see the handles on the underside of the hatch, now these aren't for anybody holding on to, these, so that you can chain yourself in. Don't want anybody coming in after you. Now, I'm at the bottom of the entry shaft. But once you're at the bottom of the entry shaft, you still aren't in the shelter. You're going to go through another 18 inches or so of reinforced concrete and pull on a single light bulb in the room. Now, I'm not a tall guy. We're looking 6 foot max in this room. 10 by 10, it would not have been a comfortable place to spend an extended amount of time with 4 people, but if there were nuclear blasts going on overhead, I think you could manage it. Now, we have some wiring in here, labeled antenna and ground, so I'm assuming there were communications equipment of some sort in here at some point. And if you look down here, we actually have an electric air pump. I believe at some point it was set up to a filtration system, so you can actually pull fresh air into the place. Over on the wall here, we do have a spigot pretty high up. Now it's fed by city water, but originally this spigot led to a 50-gallon tank that would fill before sending water to the rest of the house. So you only has 53 gallons of fresh water in here. Now, what we saw before, the exit hatch in the other room. This is how you would use that hatch. Now, through a share of the post on Facebook, we actually got in touch with the daughter of the previous owner. And she told us that her father, who designed and built the shelter, originally kept a car jack and several 2x4s in this shaft to lift the lid off. That was a good idea. Glad I didn't have to use it. Okay, so coming back through, all this is fun. Had the cinder blocks were piled up in front of here. Did have a piece of plastic taped over it originally. And if you look over here, we do have in and out pipes for more air. There's a very cool looking thermostat in the wall. It's probably been sitting at 67 or so for the past 60 years. Now, when I said that the shelter was intact, this is what I meant. That's a pile of survival gear right there. This little guy right here on top. Innocuous looking brown plastic package. This is a fallout jacket, complete with a belt. I don't know about you, but I would not feel safe walking outside in this. Alrighty, moving on. The history of this place is absolutely amazing. What we have right here is a letter from Buffalo Forge, who designed the air pump here, which they've actually called a bomb shelter ventilator. It was a spare part that was sent and never installed. We have here 2 unopened squib angle toothbrushes. Just see those sitting on a shelf, 1961, 59 cents each. There is a family action program from the U.S. government, Home Protection Exercises, reprinted June 63, slightly revised June 1960. Fallout Protection, What to Know and Do About Nuclear Attack. And then Winning School Fallout Shelter Design. It's very handy hints through here. Now, a sheet of plastic. We believe this was used to cover the entrance there from inside the home. Here's something very neat. It's a radiation testing kit. It's a family radiation testing kit. It's fun for everyone. Unused in the original box. It was purchased and it has been here for the last 60 years. The Bendix Corporation. And then below that we have food. Now, this is 11.5 pound tin of food. Came from Permapack in Salt Lake City, Utah. This was designed to, I believe it was feed a family of 6 for 72 hours. Yes, that's what it is, 72 hours for a family of 6 persons. We're not going to break into that now. If you go check out the Facebook links, I have photos of everything that was inside there. And if anybody is curious, everything that is in here now will be staying here. We've got no reason to pull it out, so we'll let it sit and let somebody else finally get another 60 years. And just in case you're curious, if you have seen the Facebook post, I want you to see right here. This is the light bulb that's been burning since 1961. They made stuff to last.